Welcome to the Sarah Finkelstein Show, where the next 10 minutes can change your life. Also on Spotify, SoundCloud, and iHeartRadio. Here's Sarah.
Hi. Have you given any thought to inflation? And if you haven't, you might want to listen in. So, according to usinflationcalculator.com, in 2021, the reported inflation rate was 7%. In 2022, it was 6.5%. And this year, in 2023, the reported inflation rate is 3.7%. Can you imagine 3.7%? Does it really feel like when you go shopping that that's what the inflation rate is? I know when I go shopping, my mouth drops. I had to get some hair conditioner because I ran out recently. And I never buy the expensive stuff anyway. But the one that I've been buying for years and years jumped up in price from $4 to $6. That's a 50% increase. And what about food? I know when I go food shopping, and I love produce, I love fruits and vegetables, I see some of the items are up 20 and 30% higher than what they were the previous time that I bought them. It is just seems like inflation is skyrocketing, doesn't it? If you're really paying attention to prices of things, you can probably agree that inflation is much, much, much higher than the stated 3.7%. Of course, we know that they don't count the cost of food and the cost of fuel in that number, and that does make a huge difference. Even chicken breasts, making chicken parm recipe, buying chicken breasts, raw chicken breasts, went up 50% from the last time. So we do know that prices are increasing by an awful lot. And what does that mean? That means that our purchasing power is decreasing. As inflation goes up, our purchasing power for products and services goes down. So what are we to do about it? Are there some solutions? How do you deal with it? Have you thought about it? Well, I do believe that there are some solid solutions. So let me start with those because we can all improve our financial situation. So, tip number one that you might want to consider is, as Warren Buffett says, don't lose what you've got. He says rule number one is don't lose what you've got. And then rule number two is see rule number one. If you lose your money, then how are you going to deal with the rising cost and inflation? Are you overly aggressively invested? Now, we all know we want to see our money grow. And when you invest aggressively, you have potentially huge gains. But let's not forget that we also can have huge losses when we are invested aggressively. Another item is all of your money at risk? Is all of your allocations in the market where you can have tremendous growth and you can have losses? Or are you abiding by the safe money formula that states that as we get older, we should be more conservative with our money rather than more aggressive? And why would that be? Simply because as we get older, we don't have as long of a time horizon as we did in our younger years. So are you diversified between the market and safe money vehicles so that not all of your money is subject to losses? You know, it's very interesting. When I ask seniors, how much of this portfolio of your money can you afford to lose? And you know what they say? Most of them will say, oh, I can't afford to lose any of it. Yet, where do they keep most of their money? That's right, you got it, where it can be lost. So, as we get older, we definitely want to be more conservative, and you should adjust accordingly. Tip number two that can help you: are you saving money? I mean, we all have income coming in, expenses going out, we pay our bills. If you're not saving any money after you get your paycheck, after you pay your bills, then I strongly suggest that you sit down and take a deep dive into your budget. Are you spending money frivolously? If you're like some people out and about going between appointments or to work or whatever it may be, whatever your schedule is, it's very easy to spend money without even thinking about it. You stop in for a $5 cup of coffee, or maybe you eat out too frequently. And that can add up to a lot of money that you could be using instead to save for your future. Another tip that might help you is when things go on sale. I know my local supermarket has what's called a BOGO, buy one, get one. You buy one item, you pay for one, but you get two. And that could be tremendous savings. So when those sales come up, you should stock up on the things that you use on a regular basis: paper products, canned goods, whatever it may be. When they go on sale, stock up. And that is one way to save money. Maybe you have more gadgets than you truly need. And when it comes to saving, are you putting money into your Roth IRA? Are you maximizing your contribution into your Roth or your qualified retirement plan at work? It's very important to do so that when you do reach your retirement years, you'll have a nice bucket of money saved up for your future years in retirement. And let's not forget, people are living longer than ever before. It's not uncommon to make it to 100 or even beyond. So the longer we live, the more money we need to carry us through our retirement years. Tip number 4 is shore up your insurance. When inflation is high and you think that maybe your strategy is to self-insure, that means that you have to self-insure a whole lot more dollars because inflation is high and costs are higher. That means Medicare, long-term care, life insurance, homeowners insurance. If you are self-insuring, you may find yourself in trouble. So why not pass the risk, some or all, to an insurance carrier so that you don't get hit up with huge expenses? When purchasing power goes down, doesn't that mean that more and more of your dollars will need to be used for living expenses? So please consider your insurance coverages, take a look at them regularly. And don't forget, insurance is based on pennies that provide dollars of coverage. So please take a look. Also, tip number 5 is income in retirement. We all need income to replace our paycheck when we retire. Do you think that Social Security will be enough to carry you through retirement? I don't care if your Social Security benefit is $1,200 a month, $2,000 a month, or even $4,000 a month. Do you think it will be enough to cover all of your expenses in retirement? Isn't it true that people used to have pension plans that provided them a secondary source of guaranteed income in retirement besides their Social Security? Well, guess what? Most people don't have a pension anymore. And those who do have a pension, it may be underfunded. But did you know that you can create your own pension, regardless of the fact that most people don't have pensions anymore? You can create your own guaranteed lifetime income. And that guaranteed lifetime income will come to you every single month for the rest of your life. Even if you live into your 90s, even if you make it to 100, you can have that added income stream, which will give you financial peace of mind. So I am telling you that you can work with a financial professional who can help you set up guaranteed lifetime income. Because again, for most people, Social Security will not be enough. And the longer you live, the more money you need to carry you through. It's not uncommon to spend 30 or 40 years in retirement. So I am Sarah Finkelstein with Signature Advisory Group. I enjoy helping Americans enjoy financial peace of mind by planning in advance. Remember, it always goes back to having an appropriate plan so you can live a happy, carefree retirement. And I want to say thank you for Tony from TRC Voiceovers for our intro and outro on the Sarah Finkelstein Show.
Knowledge is power, but only when you implement what you've learned to your own benefit. Tune in next time for even more powerful tips on the Sarah Finkelstein Show.